Why do Japan and China hate each other? Well, there's a long history of wars and conflicts between the two countries. The first recorded battle between these two dates back to 663 AD. But the incident during the Second Sino-Japanese War, which lasted from 1937 to 1945, the Nanking massacre. In 1937, imperialist Japan, which is a completely different country from modern-day Japan, invaded China and captured the capital of Nanking, which was the capital of China at that time. During the first 6 weeks of invasion, the Japanese soldiers committed countless war crimes against the Chinese. The soldiers committed 20,000 rapes from the infants to the elderly. Many of these women were left to die without any hope of savior. These days of invasion also saw the death of 60,000 to 300,000 Chinese civilians. Inhumanely, two Japanese soldiers even went on a murder spree to see who can kill 100 Chinese civilians first. They both surpassed this number that night. These details are nowhere as gruesome as to what the survivors of the war had told in their stories. The Nanking massacre is still one of the biggest reasons as to why the majority of the Chinese people have hatred for the Japanese. They also hate Japan because after the massacre, Japanese schools have downplayed the actual story, making it look like less of an atrocity than it actually was. These two nations have completely different political beliefs and cultural differences. China is a communist country and a close ally of Russia, as it sided with the Soviet Union during World War II. Whilst Japan is a democracy with the freedom of speech and also having sides with the United States during the Cold War. Fun fact, a survey conducted in Japan and China showed that 73% of Japanese people have negative thoughts for the Chinese and 90% of the Chinese have negative thoughts towards the Japanese. Now, what would happen if both countries went to war with each other? Japan is ranked as the 9th strongest military, whilst China is the world's 3rd strongest military. China has about 4.6 million active and reserves personnel, which dominates Japan's roughly 300,000. And if a war were to happen, it would most likely take place in the South China Sea. So considering the Navy will take a huge part in this war, China will again dominate Japan's Navy by 6 times. But the twist is that Japan has a direct mutual defense treaty with the United States. This would massively turn the war in Japan's favor. Japan's military is also one of the more technologically advanced compared to China's, and would most likely be able to defend any attack. However, war is really unlikely as the relationship between the two countries is moving in a positive direction. Who do y'all think will win in a war? Leave it in the comment section below.